Bibliophiles, Audiophiles. This is episode 9 of Spooky Month of Spook, and today we are doing Wolf by Kat Blackthorne. This is number 3 of the Halloween Boys series. It is available on Kindle Unlimited, and it is $4.99 on Amazon. You ready for the description?
Sure.
Okay, it's a long one, so hang with me. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Sorry, that's just the way it starts. Wolf. My sights set on her the moment she drove into town. From the moment her darling aroma invaded my senses, Blythe was mine. I'd watched her silently, I'd allowed Ghost his time, I'd supported Onyx through his turmoil. All the while the sleeping alpha raged inside me, wanting to make her his in every way. But how could I let him out when he was so at odds with her sweet, gentle giant Wolfgang Jack? My alpha was wild, untamed, and so hungry. When my community is in shambles and Fenrir Pack needs me to rise up to the challenge, can I do that while reconciling the beast within? Wow. Little Red Riding Hood is walking through my forest now, and she won't escape me this time. Then Blythe, this is from her perspective, running, always running, afraid of the darkness that haunts me, fleeing my past, always at the mercy of whatever grabs me in the night. The Halloween Boys had given me safety, security, and more love and passion than I'd ever imagined. But now Wolf needs me, and it's time to learn how to be his Luna. The women of Fenrir lead their pack with strength and grace. They don't cower, they hunt. If I run now, it'll be because I want to. If I run now, it'll be because I want to be caught. And now I'm ready for his claws and teeth. The content warnings are sexual content, violence, animal death, confinement, gore, blood, fire, and fire injury.
Ooh, so those trigger warnings were added even more to what I wrote when I finished this book.
Yeah, I put death and grief.
I had sexual content, violence, cursing, and blood written down. So there's
a lot of cursing. Yeah.
More.
You have the reviews, ma'am?
I do. Average review rating is a 4.09 star on Storygraph. The first one is a 3.5 star. This one's a 3.5 and the next one's a 3 star. They pretty much say the same thing. But the 3.5 star says, my least favorite so far. Didn't feel like much happened in this book, honestly. There was very little character development, and I don't feel like I know Wolfgang any better after this book than I did before. I hope Devil can save this series. For me, I liked each book less than the one before. 3 star. Honestly, this book did such a disservice to Wolf. He had so much potential for complexity, but this absolutely did not live up to it. It felt like the author didn't even like this character. The book didn't feel well thought out, and I think there should have been more exploration of the intention behind actions. The book's alright, but it wasn't what it could have been. 4 star. Some things were a bit predictable whilst other things were seemingly just thrown in there, but I feel like they will be explained in book 4. Anyways, love Blythe and her character development, not only hers but Ghost/Ames, his development too. They're all so likable and good boyfriends. Wolf is the definition of a golden retriever, pun intended. He is so caring and loving and thoughtful and last one's a 5 star. There's just something so special about Wolf. His implied growth along with Ghost and Dragon. The healing of the Halloween Boys goes through thanks to Blythe. Just perfection. I cannot wait for Devil later this year. With several H's. Listen, I'm trying to be quiet.
Oh yeah, we our recording spot was recently we're recording in my living room floor, and it's 11 p.m. and my kids are asleep, so we're gonna have to be a little bit quiet.
ASMR.
Maybe we're not too clacky.
I hope not.
Anyways, James, take it away, man.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
Thanks, man.
And thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry. Okay. Something I've thought about many times in this series is what happens if she gets pregnant.
Yeah.
Especially because every single one of them
does not use protection.
I think at one point it mentions I'm on birth control. When does she take it?
That's something that happens in a lot of romance books I've noticed.
Or she's like, I'm on birth control, and then it never mentions it again.
Yeah, no, this is I'm trying to remember. I think it's a bunch of different series that I've read where it's just the man will put on a condom and then throughout most of the spicy scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's one where they just don't want to. And the guy's just oh, I don't have a condom. And the girl's just it's okay. I'm on birth control.
Girl, why didn't you tell him sooner?
Yeah, he wants to raw doggy.
Oh, he wants
Come on.
I mean, you're not wrong, Where's the lie at? But for all that fun with no protection is gonna have to add up eventually.
Yeah. And with all them, like, who's gonna be the baby daddy?
Yes, exactly like my thought. There's like three at this point. There's 3 men.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're finna get the third.
Especially with Wolf being like a whole
Like literally made to breed.
made to breed kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. Which I don't have a breeding kink, but that's low key kind of hot.
Okay, so I wrote this down. The nodding thing. I can't find it right now. But like whenever they like do it, you know, and then at the end his thing grows to keep it in her to inseminate her, and I'm just like,
That's weird.
that's weird.
But it's the whole talk prior to that.
Okay, so we just got back from the beach, and so we were talking to my dad about this, and my dad was like, that makes sense, because you notice when dogs do it, that actually happens. And we were just like, we thought Kat Blackthorne just,
Made something up.
you know, threw a bunch of ideas in a hat, shook it around, and pulled one out, and that's what came out.
No,
But
she did her research. Appreciate it.
She did her math. Girl math. But yeah, no, like, that's just always bothered me. Like, one of these books are going to come out and she's going to be pregnant. But whose baby?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Fair enough. But the beginning of the book starts off with, well, actually, the end of the last book ended with
The
where it's-
blood.
with the blood ritual
Yeah.
thing, you know, where they get all kinky, right? In a way that's not hot, but you know,
I know, I did not enjoy that.
they did the thing, and then they get separated into their where they belong things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden she woke up in the Ash Grove graveyard.
With Wolf,
Yeah.
too. But here's the thing: what I was thinking about it too, because you know how like in Dragon, the witches mentioned something about how like all the mates have to be together.
Yeah.
I knew, and I mean that might just be because I've seen all the covers of the books prior to
No,
reading
I
it.
I knew it was...
I knew it was going to have to involve devil in some
Yeah.
way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So my first thought was like, damn, that's what they get for leaving Judas out of this.
Yeah, they didn't.
You know what I mean?
They didn't invite Judas for the fun.
Right? And then something that I got really confused about, which isn't really exactly explained too much in the fourth book either, which is going to be the next episode, but it mentioned that they were gone for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So 5 plus 2 years makes 7 years.
Yeah.
But then when it comes into the next book, which this might be a little bit of a spoiler, I guess, but it said they were only gone for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So like there's no
There's like that,
connection.
and it never really explained the
Yeah.
time gaps.
That kind of confused.
It was just
me.
kind of like, oh, our combined power, and we leaped 5 years into the future.
Yeah.
Anyways, and I'm like, no, like
There's a lot of stuff that can happen.
I really want to know what's going on, Loka. You know,
Yeah.
like, Blythe, where you been, Loka?
That's what Yesenia said.
Yeah, real.
Not in those words, but
Yeah.
you know.
Blythe woke up in an Ash Grove graveyard. Wolf is there. He's like half man, half wolf, just trying to knock her up. Ames is in Belladonna, and humans are there. Like,
Yeah.
Ghost is there
Yeah.
in Belladonna.
Yep.
Like, where Dragon would belong.
Yeah.
Dragon isn't anywhere yet. Like, it just did not mention him at all. And I'm like, well, there's
I
other
didn't mention him for
people.
a while.
It didn't. And I was just like, is he just like gone? Or but the review where you said that the reviewer felt like Kat Blackthorne did not care as much with this book as she did the others, and it feels like she does not like this character. I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah.
This book was honestly, she could have probably summed it down to 3 words. Devil should have been there.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf and Blythe end up together,
Mm-hmm.
and she's still acting like a damsel in distress. That is
Yeah.
pretty much this entire book in those 3 words. It literally was just, it repeated itself a lot in different words.
That's fair, yeah.
But it basically said the same thing over and over, just worded differently. And it really was making me, like, just disappointed. I wasn't even mad. I was just disappointed.
Yeah, because there's like a lot. It was really short, which
Yeah.
I was really excited for because I'm like, okay, great. This is going to be a really quick read to get through and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't write a lot of notes about this. But one of my like parting notes is, and I know you hate the word fleshed out, but it definitely could have been
It could have
more.
been. Yeah.
So thinking about it now.
Like, it's just about Wolf becoming alpha because, like,
Yeah.
5 years in the future, everything's in shambles. He's trying to fix it. Blythe is like, I'm going to be a big girl. Still doesn't do it. You know, this is the 3rd book, sis. Get it together. And another thing is just her learning about the Lunas, which is, I thought all the stuff about the Lunas was really cool.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that aspect of it because I apparently really do enjoy, like, werewolf heritage and stuff.
Yeah.
Not the smut. No. I made a rating on the smut around here somewhere. We'll get to there eventually. But no, this book was bad. Are we saving our ratings for the ending or no?
Can we just
Okay,
to see,
we'll
you
save
know,
it for
once
the
we're
ending.
done talking about it, we might change our minds.
Yeah, that's true. We do that sometimes.
I figured prior to reading this book that Wolf would be like a cinnamon roll kind of character.
Yeah.
Because I kind of got that vibe.
I did.
And
because
at the
he's
beginning,
so sweet.
at the beginning of the book, this one specifically, I kind of was just like, this doesn't sound cinnamon rolly.
Yeah, like, where's my teddy bear?
But then later, he kind of does turn into like a
Eventually. Yeah. Well, he's just kind of like, oh, I can't be around her because I'm the alpha male and I'm going to hurt her. And I'm just like,
Are you?
Are you though? Like, you're really not.
Also, it killed me when she called him Moon Boy.
Yeah. Oh, but no, when he calls her little one, that's an ick.
He's not the one that does it. That's Dragon.
No, I wrote it down. Wolf calling Blythe little one. Dragon calls her Belladonna because it's the poison flower.
I think no, because I wrote that down in Dragon. Though,
he may also call her little one every once in a while.
Yeah, Dragon does it too.
Refers to her a lot as little one.
But then you know what? They have all the boys' perspectives in this book too.
Yeah.
Minus Judas. So, like, it's all there.
Yeah.
But regardless, little one is definitely an ick.
It's definitely an ick, yeah. No, like, you can call a child that. If it's something you can call a child, you don't need to be calling an adult that sexually.
Yeah.
But this book was not the vibe.
Not the vibe.
Because Blythe was just like, oh, I gotta help. I'm gonna help him. I'm gonna be a Luna. I'm gonna be a strong girl. And then she's not.
Yeah.
She literally just sits around and waits for everybody else to do something. Like, I think Kat Blackthorne may have, like, no offense, sis, problems because she's like, the female character can't do anything. She is very helpless. Even in Devil, she's helpless. What does she do besides sit around? Name 2 things that she's done. It's book 3.
Yeah.
She needs to grow a backbone at some point. Take it from me. I'm a stay-at-home mom. We don't need men. No, but for real, like, it was making me so mad because, like, every single time it's talking about power development for her, because I'm a huge fantasy person, it's like it fizzles out and it turns into sex. And I'm like, that's literally not all that she's good for. Make her do something. She's like a fish in a fish bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's making me disappointed because, like, I was really looking forward to this book.
Yes, because, like, the first 2, like, just, you know, Ghost was good. Dragon was better. And then Wolf is like, where did it go? You know?
Yeah. One of the quotes I wrote down isn't a quote from the book. It's a quote that you said for Get in My Swamp.
Get in My Swamp?
Where you said, stop smelling me all the time.
Yes, except this series made it worse because they also added taste. So, smelling and tasting your arousal is going to be a no for me.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
You don't want him smelling your honey?
No. Honestly, if me and my husband were getting frisky and all of a sudden he said, I smell your arousal, I'd be done. I would immediately roll over and go to bed. I would be done. I can't with the smelling and the tasting. It's not for me.
And then the quote I have written after that is, come for your wolf daddy.
Stop. I hate that. Yeah, but, you know, this time, Wolf brought it up. But with Ghost, she called him Demon Daddy.
Yes.
Was Dragon ever a daddy? I don't remember if Dragon
if he was, I would have
ever a
written it
daddy.
down.
I'll continue, because this is kind of related. I like reading about, like, how much love they have for her separately.
Yeah, I love that
that's
too.
really sweet.
I love that.
Not the togetherness as much, but, like, individually, and how they're, like, thinking and talking to her and about her.
I wrote these spicy scenes, though. I don't know what that's in reference to. I don't know if it's just entirely
good or bad, or
in a good
just
way.
in general.
It's different.
Yeah, definitely different.
Because, like, you know, like I mentioned with the other books, I'm sitting in traffic.
Yeah.
Listening to these.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just sitting there like, tee. You don't know what I'm listening to.
Yeah, like I'm bopping to Katy Perry in here, you know, even though she's canceled. That's better than this.
Oh, and then the other thing too, in relation to like them all loving her separately and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that Ghost isn't so selfish with her anymore either.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not for a poly relationship.
Yeah.
But given the fact that they're in one, I'm really glad he's not selfish with her.
Yeah. I think he was just stingy. But now, like, it's like the first book, Ghost is like, you can't have her. But the rest of the books, it's like, we can all have her, and I'll have you too.
Yeah.
Because, like, Dragon's house was burnt down, and then, like, him and Ames were there, and then all of a sudden they had relations on top of the ashes.
He felt bad.
Yeah, I'm like, one thing about this book series is that there's a tidbit of story followed by 3 pages of smut. Beast in the woods, orgy. Your house burnt down, head. Your witch bestie is missing, parking lot relations. And I'm just like, every single time, it's like, you get like this little, oh, his house burnt down. 3 pages of how that head was. And I'm like, stop.
Story.
Story, fantasy. Stop with erotica.
Yep.
For 5 minutes. Like, I think literally at this part where it was the, like, on top of the house, the ashes, I set my book down for a while because I literally, at this point, I'm already like a quarter of the way through the book and I'm just like, I can't, like, it's just, it's, there's no story here.
Yeah.
I didn't read for 2 days after that. It made me mad because I was like, this book is nothing but 5 seconds of story and 5 hours of smut.
Well, mind you, also, if you look on Storygraph, it's listed as erotica.
I didn't know that until after I read this.
Really?
Yes,
It was
I
the
did
first thing
not
I noticed
know
when I was
that.
looking at them on Storygraph.
I don't look at them on Storygraph. Like, I do for, like, a second just to add it to my currently reading, but that's it. I don't go past that page.
Oh, circling back to the whole she can't defend herself, I did write, because I'm going down my little list, Sis needs to learn self-defense, but she's pretty smart. Like, she's got the potential.
She's got, like, street smarts.
She's got the potential.
Yeah.
She just don't got it.
And then she's like, I want to learn how to fight. And then they're like, no.
Oh, yeah. Aside from Little One being continuously cringed at, My Seed, too.
Oh, stop. No, God. Gross.
Little Ghost isn't that bad, though. It's okay.
I like Little Ghost.
It's
Admittedly,
pretty
I think
okay.
that was cute.
But Little One
No.
and My Seed. Oh, also, so in this book, too, part of the actual story of the book, right?
Like the 5 minutes of it.
They made a plan, the boys made a plan to lock Wolf up because they knew now
The
that he's
full
down.
moon was coming. He was going to hunt her down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have told her straight up
Yes.
first that they were going to do that.
Don't tell her anything.
Yeah. And that, because, like, it makes her seem like she's being betrayed by Wolf, who she's supposed to think is a cinnamon roll because he is one.
Yeah.
But they're just said, nah, let's not tell her because Wolf doesn't want her to know.
Another part of, like, where their lack of communication is when Wolfgang was warned by the ghouls that they were going to come back and kill all the pups in the pack. And Wolfgang went out to hunt them, left the pups unguarded with Dragon and Ghost asleep 20 feet away. Why would he not wake them up?
Yeah.
And be like, hey, this is what's going on. I need you to protect the pups. But instead, he just went out, killed a bunch of them, came back, and then was like, oh no, the pups are gone. Like, bro, you were warned.
Yeah.
Like, they literally said, hey, we're gonna do this, bro. And you're just like, let me go take a walk. I admit it was more than a walk, but still, like, he could have, like, woke them up and been like, hey, this is a threat that we're under,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Judas at this point, though, before book 4?
Before book 4, even like in the books prior to like book 2, I was thinking about this. I was like, I feel like I'm gonna really like book 4.
I did too, yeah.
I was just like, I feel like this is gonna be really good. And like, he popped in, and I like that he was a character in this book.
He made muffins or cupcakes.
That's my
He
thing.
has muffins,
I wrote a quote, the devil is making muffins.
Yeah.
And I was just like, ooh, I don't know. Like, I was kind of really excited about that.
I think this, as much as it sucked, I think it was really, like,
A good teaser for devil.
a good teaser for Devil, yeah. Like, kind of, like, built up the relationship starting point.
Oh, so what was she doing? She had to go try to break through like some veil to go get the Lunas and the pups and
she
stuff.
promised the pups' mom, and then like that, like, because like the elders and the pups were missing. Yeah.
So they decide to send her off to go do this, right? And while she's off doing this, they're like, okay, so we need to get you in a cloak to hide you.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be red?
That was my next note.
Yeah, let's just put her in a red cloak. She'll really blend in.
A red cloak, yeah. They're like, give her a red cloak And then they gave her the red hood for courage and a basket of flowers and herbs for protection and told her that Grandmother Wolf will leave her clues to find them. What?
Little Red Riding Hood.
Little Red Riding Hood, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, this is the plot of Hoodwinked. Have you ever seen Hoodwinked?
A really long time ago.
Oh my gosh, that used to be my jam. But that is exactly what it is giving me. So after this, I started imagining Wolfgang as the wolf from Hoodwinked. And he's just a jerk. But oh, Blythe crossed into the Vale, some magic realm, looking for elders and pups. Then there's Wolf having his way with her again.
Yeah.
Like, they locked him up and he sniffed her out and then ripped through the veil and was like, "You're mine."
Mm-hmm.
Had his way with her.
Yep.
Right there. And then, like, were they within earshot of everybody else or no? That was my main concern, was the children. Yeah.
But they don't care. They're so infatuated with each other.
Infatuated.
Oh, there's 2 more notes I have left.
Yeah.
So my second to last note just says Ghost and Onyx sucking each other off.
Do what?
Ghost and Onyx sucking each other off.
Yeah, during all this, and it's just like going back and forth. He rips through the veil, smut. And then it's like, oh, back in the real world, smut. And I'm just like, can you stop? For 5 seconds, can we have a little bit of story? The only story in any of this is like Blythe is going to the Vale. She gets captured by Zyre dude. He's mean. She goes into the Vale. Wolfgang goes too. They bone. So of course there's a smut. Zyre comes in and stabs Wolf. So they literally were running away from Zyre 2 minutes ago, right? And so they bust through the Vale. They start boinking and they're just like, "Ah, you remember that dude out there? Like on the other side of this curtain? Forget about him. You wanna? Let me smash." You seen that meme? Let me smash. It's the bird. I love it. Anyways, and then all of a sudden he comes through and he stabs Wolf. And they're just like, "Where did you come from?" I'm like, "You weren't being chased like 10 minutes ago?" But it reminded me of Leona and Beck, of how they get in the warehouse and just start boinking as soon as they save her.
Yep.
And then Winston's just in the corner watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that was definitely giving those vibes.
Yeah, very much. What else do you have? Because my last note has about the very end of the book.
Okay, hang on a minute. I gotta highlight. If anybody's hearing scroochy scratchies, we highlight our notes.
Or like this.
Yeah.
That's me clicking open, close the highlighter cap because I'm fidgety.
She found the Lunars, elders, and pups, so she did something useful.
Yeah.
I feel like the ending was very rushed. Blackthorne is good at smut if you like her style. I don't prefer it in my opinion. Her fantasy writing is lacking. The ending has me very interested in the next book. I just hope it's not just smut. Like, I really would like more story, because all of these books and the characters and the backgrounds, they're wonderful. These are books that I would really enjoy
If it wasn't
pure erotica at this point. Yeah. Blythe went from nothing to saving the day. There was no development in the power.
Yeah.
It was, she's useless. She helped us. In the beginning of the next book, she's useless again. And I'm just like, where is she learning? And then all of a sudden forgetting her powers.
Yeah.
There's no development in these books at all. It's just smut. That's my last note, pretty much.
Okay. Last note is a quote, which I think is the last quote in the book itself, which is, "Welcome home, my bride."
Yeah. I thought that was like a really cool teaser.
I really like that so much, and I was so mad that I finished the book before Devil came out.
Yeah.
Because I was really, 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 really anxious for Devil to come out after that.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I don't know, like I said, like I knew I was going to like Wolf and Devil more.
Yeah.
Character-wise, definitely disappointed with Wolf.
Definitely. Can we do our ratings now?
Yeah, we can.
2 out of 5.
Okay, so I originally had it at a 5 out of 5. I might drop it down to a 4. Because
listen, I need to stop making the collages for this in advance, because now I'm going to have to go back and change it. Thanks. But I'll do it because I love you.
it's just that, like, now that, like, we're talking about it and thinking about it.
I'm still surprised you're giving it a 4. Did we read the same book?
Yeah.
I know you like werewolf stuff, but seriously, this... Like, I seriously doubt Kat Blackthorne is ever going to hear this. But, in my opinion, this is probably one of the worst werewolf books I've ever read. Like, if the smut did it for me, it would be a 5 out of 5, but it doesn't. It's just icky, in my opinion, because it's overbearing.
That's fair. I don't know. I just think I was more excited about the book itself.
Yeah.
That I wasn't paying too much attention to all the details.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
After Dragon, I was stoked for this. Because, I love Dragon. There was so much backstory. And I actually did enjoy the smut in that book. I don't remember what I rated it, but it was fairly high. And my first note that I see in the last one was I prefer his smut. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I think it was a 4.5 out of 5. And I think I lowered it to 3 to 3.5. Still, that's pretty high for me if it's basically erotica. So, I like the sweet, romantic.
Me too.
Not the...
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch you and we're gonna bone on top of my grave,
That's fair.
It's too much.
All fair. I don't know. The whole series made me excited. I think it's just because it's not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason why I rated it so high is because I was too excited about finishing the series.
Yeah.
That I was kind of just, excited about it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't paying attention 200% to all the details.
Yeah.
But I did write in my comments.
Ooh, your little comment box there.
Could have been longer, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Felt they found each other too quickly, at the very beginning, because you know how they were all separated.
Yeah.
There could have been a little bit more.
So lacking in story.
Yeah. A little more drawn out there.
Yeah.
And then
fleshed out.
And then more could have been fleshed out, but I love Wolf.
Yeah.
I really do love Wolf.
I do love Wolf, because, in the other books, he was, the cute cinnamon man that you were talking about earlier, whatever it was.
Cinnamon roll.
But in this book, he just wasn't.
No, it definitely could have been better.
Yeah. My buzzwords are smut, not much plot, smut, betrayal.
Smut.
Smut. Yeah. That's all I got from this book.
Yeah. Same.
All right. Do you have any finishing?
I can't wait to talk about Devil.
I can't either. I'm stoked about that one because that is my favorite out of the series. It is.
Honestly, I have to agree.
It is the best one out of the whole series. Okay, well, thank you for listening to this episode of Bibliophiles Audiophiles. This has been episode 9 of Spooky Month of Spook. You can email us at biblioaudiopod@gmail.com. Yep, I got there.
And find us on Instagram at Biblio Audio Podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, I dropped my highlighter. At least it didn't go far.
At least it did, yeah. Okay, well, let's see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.